Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from RealityArtPod here to talk about Week 5's Wednesday Power of Veto episode of Big Brother 27. Last time on Big Brother, after Jimmy's eviction, house guests faced off in a knockout HOH competition, which saw Ava come to power as HOH, nominating Keanu, Vince, and Zach for eviction. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing. We're in the countdown to 20k. You can also use the link in my description to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. Ava adjourns her nomination ceremony. We finally get to see Ava's speech about Vince in a flashback. Why not show this on Sunday? She says his hands are in so many pots, gardeners are jealous, and deems him Vinny the Lip Pinaro. Rachel thinks Ava is a badass for these nominations. She says this is revenge for Jimmy, and Rachel wants to target Vince this week. Zach is still pissed off that Ava went back on her word and nominated him. Will loves Ava's nominations. Finally, someone didn't make a weak-ass move in his eyes. Will comedically hides in the potty. As Ava talks to Zach, Will doesn't want Zach to know that he was involved in his nomination. Zach calls Ava out for promising him safety. He reminds us he still has his $10,000 veto power, but he's annoyed with Ava and doesn't want to give her the $10,000 as a reward for nominating him. So we have this melting pot alliance between Mickey, Morgan, Zach, and Vince. Mickey's just convinced Ava to nominate her alliance members instead of Ashley, and Mickey's being so weird to them now, not answering questions directly, not acting upset that they're nominated. Morgan feels like Mickey should have been able to influence Ava's nominations and thinks this is fishy. Zach and Vince agree that Mickey's acting suspicious. Ava and Keanu are on good terms and offer each other a clean slate after their fight at last week's veto competition and Keanu's nomination, but Keanu tells us that if he wins HOH next week, he may still nominate Ava. Ava tells Vince it is what it is and lies to him, saying he's not the target even though he is. Morgan is very annoyed with Ava. Will brings this back to Ashley and Mickey, which annoys Mickey because apparently she's closer allies with Ava than Morgan, so Mickey brings this right back to Ava. Now Ava sees Morgan as a potential replacement nominee, but Mickey's like, whoa, that wasn't my intention to get Morgan targeted. Okay, maybe then think twice before saying that to the HOH then. Catherine tells Riley that she's in a bad spot in the game. She was almost nominated last week and only wasn't because of Riley campaigning for her. She feels like she's just being seen as Riley's tag along and wants to be valued on her own. They kiss it out. Vince and Keanu talk. Keanu's talking about winning the veto and using it on Vince. Keanu, girl, this is wild thinking. Vince tells Keanu that's genius. I'd say the same thing if I were Vince. They pick players for the veto. For once, Ashley isn't in the shower for this. Will and Catherine are picked to play alongside Ava and her nominees. At this point, Ava's dead set on Morgan being her replacement nominee, and Mickey's still trying to talk her down from it, but Ava's not budging. Ava's about to win the veto and do it herself. They head to the veto competition, where there's been a crime spree in Vetotropolis. Players are dressed as detectives. They have to solve murders by memorizing scoring zones. Then the board will change to nothing, and they need to slide their disc onto the board, hoping to land on a lot of points. Each round, the player with the lowest score will be eliminated and get a mystery prize or punishment. Each player eliminated will be able to steal a prize or choose to keep what they got. In round 1, Will has the lowest score and is eliminated. His briefcase contains the POV. In round 2, Keanu is eliminated, getting partners in crime, a punishment where he and another house guest of his choice will compete in an overnight task. He trades it for Will's POV. In round 3, Zach scores a 0 and is out, winning a London vacation, which he trades for Will's partner in crime punishment, so Will can take his chocolate drop on vacation in a really sweet moment. Ava scores a 0 in round 4. She wins the Butler Did It, a punishment where you spend the week serving other house guests. She trades this for Keanu's POV. In the final round, Catherine beats Vince, so Vince picks next, getting $5,000, which he trades for Ava's veto. Catherine then opens the final case, getting hard-boiled detective, an excellent detective costume. Vince is begging to Catherine, saying he applied for 10 years to be on this show, but Kat steals the veto from him, leaving Vince with the egg costume. She declares that winning is what's really important to her. Zach chooses Rachel to be his partner in crime for his punishment, and Vince says the way this competition played out is just like his life, so losing? Following the challenge, Riley and Kat celebrate her win. Ava and Will high-five for their rewards, but Ava is annoyed with Vinny the Lip for trying to talk Catherine into giving him the veto. Ava wants to convince Kat into using the veto on Zach so she can backdoor Morgan. Vince gets his costume. I love this egg costume. I want to wear it. The house guests get a good laugh out of it and pushing him around. Keanu as the butler. This one really tickled me. He has to make pigs in a blanket and serve the other players on his big old booty. Keanu was the perfect person for this. He really hammed it up all week and his weenies looked really delicious. Rachel and Zach have 12 hours to steal $100,000 in BB bucks from the backyard. They're opening money bags. Most of them explode, blue goo in their face, and send them to timeout. Overnight, they have to find the 4 bags that don't explode, so just an excuse to see them get blasted over and over, which I'm here for. So they're getting splooged all night. This seems really easy compared to Angela's punishment last year, but this goes on for far too long. Thank goodness they finish it. Later, Ashley and Will tell Rachel that the melting pot want Rachel on the jury, with a flashback to Morgan simply saying that Rachel would be a fair juror, but Rachel gets pissed. She takes this as the other players wanting to just drag her along and vote her out as the mayor of the jury, which is kind of what they want to do, but that's not what they mean when they say they want Rachel to make it to jury. In a one-on-one, Morgan tells Rachel that she's heard that Kat and Riley's showmance is a threat, and she tells Rachel that she wants her in jury. Rachel is instantly triggered, saying, "I'm not going to the jury house." She tells Morgan her whole group is crazy. She will be sitting in the final two, so if they want to F with her, go ahead. Rachel is completely wrong here, but it's funny. And Morgan now actually does want to target Rachel. And of course, Rachel wants Morgan out, so she runs back to Catherine and tells Catherine what Morgan said about her showmance. Catherine and Ava then meet to decide what to do with the veto, and through very indirect conversation, they both can tell that Morgan would be the renom if Catherine uses it. At the veto meeting, Catherine decides not to use the veto, and when Zach has the option to use his power and save himself, he decides not to use it, telling us it wasn't worth risking Morgan's game, and he likes his chances in a vote and the blockbuster competition. I have so much to say about Zach not using this power. In general, I think it's silly, but I'm gonna hold off until I see what happens tomorrow because it was a gamble and it could either be one of the dumbest moves in BB history or can be high risk, high reward, but it all depends on the results of the week. I will be doing my big one and speaking on this tomorrow when I recap the eviction and my player rankings for the week. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.